Good morning to you, wherever you are, because it is Morning Somewhere for October 17th, 2024. You made me late on that one. My name is Bernie Burns. Everybody sitting right over there. He is back again. It is Jason Saldana. Say hi to Jason, everybody.
What is up, everybody?
How's your headphones over there? Are they good?
It's pretty good. I popped one ear out because I was kind of getting a little delay thing that was freaking me out when I had both ears in.
Is it okay though? You feeling okay? So I'm going to start this off, Jason, by saying I owe you two apologies. It's going to be a dual apology.
I'm listening.
First of all, I feel like I lumped you in and maligned you when I said that a lot of guests wouldn't do the Morning Somewhere. You are actually the first person who yelled the Morning Somewhere when you were on the podcast back in, what, June?
Or May. Yeah, somewhere around there.
I was here mailing out all those coins. Mm-hmm. I'm back in Austin, everybody.
Hey, wait, I'm waiting for that second apology.
So the second apology is I had your brother on the Patreon show, and then we played music all week from your family. And I was thinking, Jason must be wondering, what the fuck do you play my music when I was on the podcast? Did your dad go, good job, Nick?
Yeah, probably. I've got to be proud of him for something, you know. Just kidding, Nick. I know you're going to hear this.
So for those of you who are not members of Patreon, when we were down for Gavin's wedding in London, Jason's brother Nick was on the podcast, and we talked about like growing up in a musical family. I love that discussion. That was great. It was crazy. I didn't know you guys had like no formal musical training. You just decided to start playing music.
I'm just winging it. You can tell if you listen hard enough.
Can you?
Yeah.
No, everybody can listen on the songs that we played that week. I was reminded of your band, and I had forgotten the name of it. Meanest Capacity. That's a great name for a band.
Is it? I think it's a bad one.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your favorite name of all the bands you've had?
I don't know. I mean, Visitors is fine because it's easy to say, but it's hard to find. You know, there's other Visitors out there.
Third apology. I kept saying The Visitors, by the way, instead of.
Oh, that's fine too.
Instead
I think
of
most
Visitors.
people do that too.
In the search world, it's important to get it right.
Meanest Capacity, before it was called that, I don't know if Nick talked about this, was called Skirts on Fire, which is a terrible band name. It was the name of some dish at a restaurant.
Well, there was a dish called Skirts on Fire?
Yeah, and I liked it.
All right, let me ask you this, because you split time. You grew up in San Antonio, right? But you've been in Austin forever. But you still must go down to San Antonio on a fairly regular basis, right?
Yeah, I do.
So I'm back here in Austin. I'm only here for a couple of days.
Okay.
And I'm here to vote. I have a huge responsibility where I have to make sure that all the mail-in ballots for everybody from Scotland get mailed.
Okay.
Very important, especially with JD. He's like asking me about it.
You got to do it
all the time. But I have a hit list when I come back here of places I have to eat.
In Austin.
It's like I have a list.
Have you gone anywhere yet?
I did go one place so far.
You've been here for like 30 minutes. Right?
Do you want to know how fat I am? I was in an Uber.
You went to Texadelphia.
And I ordered Uber Eats while I was in the Uber coming from the airport because I was going to unpack and you were coming over to record and everything. And I wanted to make sure I had food here. And so I started with my first thing on the hit list. And Uber Eats even told me, hey, you seem pretty far away from this address right now. And I'm like, just shut your mouth, Uber Eats. Bring me my grub.
Money. What was it?
I got Double Dave's pepperoni rolls.
Yeah.
Which are so good. I don't know what. They're not pizza rolls. They're not the same thing, right? You know what have you ever had them?
I've had them from there, but are those not pizza rolls?
They don't have any sauce in them. Right?
Yeah, I think pizza rolls are just like pepperoni and cheese, right?
Yeah, but these ones are just like, there's something about them.
They got a lot of grease in them. You put back about a dozen of them or what?
No. Dude, I was worried about it. I was way more worried about like the sodium content in it more than anything else. And then burgers somewhere on the list because Scottish burgers just don't cut it for me. I'm just trying to figure out you tell me what's the best burger in Austin?
In Austin?
Yeah.
Dude, I hadn't been in a long time and pretty recently I went back to Casino El Camino and it was good, man.
Yeah.
They had fallen off for a while and it was pretty good. I also like Crown and Anchor. You ever go there?
Yeah. I used to go there in college all the time. That place you were a UT student as well.
Yep.
And it's where everyone would go from UT. You could like just duck off and go there when you didn't want to go eat at the Union or something like that. Or Jester.
They still go. Players, remember Players?
Did you? Yeah, I remember Players. Yeah. Everybody would go there. It's this kind of little dive that was right by the university where people would go eat. And they had this specialty where they had these gigantic like goblet milkshakes.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought the milkshakes were terrible.
Also, if you like... You have to go straight to the bathroom if you drink 32 ounces of ice cream. You just got to go right away.
Right to the hospital.
Were you going to ask me something about San Antonio, though, or what?
No, so you must go to San Antonio. Do you have like a hit list where you go, like, where do you go eat when you go back to San Antonio?
I mean, usually we're not there for too long. I try to go, speaking of visitors, Lewis, our drummer, has a restaurant there called Sings. It's Vietnamese. I try to eat there. There's a Mexican restaurant called Garcia's.
What's the one
What
that everybody's
else?
down there? What's the one that's like world famous? La Fogata? Was it? What's it?
La Fogata's pretty
Yeah.
decent. It's kind of a fun place. Rosario's is good.
It's still Tex-Mex there, but it's a little bit different, I feel like, in San Antonio.
Yeah, it is. It's a little trashier. I don't know.
You
I don't
think
know how
so?
to describe it. Yeah.
I mean, Tex-Mex in general is kind of trashier, isn't it, than most other Mexican food? Like, occasionally you'll find a place will open here that has, like, authentic
Mexican
Central
food?
Mexico. Like, what's
Yeah.
the place that's down Curas?
Oh yeah.
Down off Riverside? Just it's not the
I
same.
don't
to
like
me.
that.
I like melted cheese and beef. That's Tex-Mex, man.
Yeah, Curry's is okay. They have an avocado margarita, but it's like, don't give me a fucking healthy margarita, man. I'm trying to get fucked up.
I like that avocado health. It's the good kind of alcohol
Yeah.
in it. But yeah, so after that, so I'll get a burger. Then I already did kind of the pizza, so I don't feel like I can do pizza again. And then I'm going to the game with some of my college buddies. I'm going to the
Nice.
Texas-Georgia game.
Y'all get tickets already?
They've had season tickets
Okay.
for fucking ever. I've been kind of a shitty friend to those guys because I haven't been going to UT football games for a long time. But yeah, so I'm going to take advantage of they've had the same seats, I think, for like 15, 20 years now.
Well, this one should be fun.
You know, it was a gamble, right? Because we made these plans like a month ago when it was Texas #1 and Georgia #2 or vice versa. And then Georgia got beat by Alabama. And then I was thinking, one of the reasons I was so invested in OU this last weekend was it could really change the value of this trip, you know?
Right.
I mean,
For sure.
Yeah.
And they didn't lose.
No, they didn't lose. They
not
did
lose
very
the
well.
game.
They did very well.
The year that we went to the national championship with Vince Young, as soon as we won the Ohio State game, me and Nick bought flights to LA. We were like, we're going national championship. It's going to happen.
You know, I went to they played in the Rose Bowl 2 years in a row.
Yep.
The previous year, they just played in the Rose Bowl as the Rose Bowl. It wasn't the national championship game. They played Michigan. It was a great game. And I was there for that one. And I thought, you know what? That was such a good memory of beating
wanna
Michigan
tarnish it.
in Texas. I don't want to go back to the Rose Bowl again this year. And we're going to get trounced by USC, this professional football team that USC had. That's
what everybody told
Reggie
us.
Bush and Matt Leinart.
Yep.
And yeah, and it was the greatest game.
Awesome.
Arguably one of the
Awesome game.
best games in NCAA history was that game.
I rented
Vince
a
Young.
convertible that weekend. It was
Did you
sweet.
really?
Yeah, it was an awesome weekend.
Hey, man, you just got back from Vegas too, right?
I did, yeah. I went to see a friend's band. They played at this music festival in downtown Vegas. So I was off the strip, like on Fremont Street, which is
Old school Vegas.
it's old school Vegas.
How about dirty? That's dirty Vegas.
It's pretty
right there.
dirty, yeah. But it was fun. I didn't lose that much money. I don't think. I don't know. I haven't looked at my bank. I did. I lost more money at the fucking Starbucks than at the casino, dude.
What does that mean?
I don't understand why everything's so expensive there. I like to drink an iced Americano, so like a medium iced Americano and
Yeah.
a pastry was like $18.
Are you fucking?
a-
Is that
yeah,
real?
I'm serious. $18.
Holy shit! That is. You know, I said the other day that I thought Orlando was the had the most direct flights for an airport of its classification. I think I got that mixed up with Vegas. Vegas might have
Is
the
it
most
Vegas?
direct
Airport's
flights.
pretty big.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
No, it's not. And there's slot machines in the airport. There.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude, let us get away. You know,
You can't.
you're gonna milk every last penny out of these people.
And I was telling you this earlier. You put your money in that slot machine and you hit the button, and all that happens is just the balance goes down and down and down until you don't have anything left.
The computer ones, I don't get. I really
Yeah.
don't get it.
It's not any fun.
No, the old ones where they had the big arm, the one arm bandit, you could hear the reels going ka-chunk, ka-chunk. At least it felt like something was happening. Now it's just like a computer goes, you lost, try again. You
Yep.
lost, try again.
Yep.
And
then
you see these people doing it, dude. They're just sitting there,
Dude,
bump, 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 hitting that button, just watching that number go
I mean,
down.
I walked by people who were putting in like $200 or $300 in the machine and just going bye, I guess.
So for your very first ever trip to Vegas,
This was the first time, yeah.
that's crazy to me. You
Yeah.
think you maybe broke even, it sounds like.
I think I probably lost like $150.
I think it's good to lose on your first trip to
Yeah,
Vegas.
yeah.
I think one of the worst things that could happen is when you win and sometimes
Oh, you think you can go back?
I think I experienced that where I had like my best trip ever making money going to Vegas was when I went the first time, and then it ruins you because then you're like,
Right.
oh, you chase it forever, man.
Yeah.
Chase it. It's almost like a blessing when you lose money the first trip.
On my way back, this old guy came and sat next to me, and Does this ever happen to you on the plane? He sits down and he immediately just like turns to me and offers his hand and tells me his name. And I'm like, great, I'm talking this whole fucking flight.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
He goes twice a year, though.
I was that guy.
Dude?
Well, a guy on my flight today had a UK passport and a Longhorn hat. And I go, God, that's this guy. What's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I kind of cut it off. And then I almost felt like, who's this dickhead who started a conversation with me and then like is ignoring me? And they were like, being cold. But I was like, that was just the whole conversation.
You can't talk to him for 9 hours.
I'm not going to talk to you for 9 hours. Yeah. I'm not going to do it.
I had the same thing happen to me on another flight last year. I was going to Palm Springs. Another old guy, too, comes and sits next to me. He didn't have anything with him. No phone, no backpack, no magazine or anything.
Raw dog.
He was raw dogging before people were raw dogging. And he just comes and sits down. And I already have my headphones on. And like 40 minutes into the flight, I've got my headphones on. I'm reading. And I can see him kind of lean over and look at me like he's trying to get my attention. And so I take a headphone out and I look at him. And he just goes, "So you're from Palm Springs?" I was like, yeah, I took my fucking headphone out for that. How long have you been wondering?
That's what
He was nice. He ended up being a nice dude. But yeah, so you're from Palm Springs?
Man, I'll tell you can really, now living in Scotland and living in an area where a lot of tourists go, you can really spot Americans. And it's just crazy. I mean, It's crazy. And especially there's a thing that Americans do where they're like overly chatty and overly nice, and I can't even describe it. So you know it when you see it. And usually, like, I just associate with like middle-aged ladies from the Midwest. And they're all like chummy. That's a good word for it. Chummy. And it's just like, nobody's looking for that.
Like oversharing.
Oversharing, just like, oh, we're all best friends now. All of a sudden, it's like, nope, you're just in the pub for one night. And that's it. So maybe I'm getting too cynical. I don't know. But explain to me Palm Springs, because I have a lot of friends who live in LA and they always get super excited about going to Palm Springs. I don't think I get it.
I didn't get it. I mean, I went for a work thing and it was in March and the weather was better there than it was here. So I thought that was
what is the weather?
Cool.
Palm Springs is like a desert though, right?
Yeah, but it was still kind of like cool in the morning and at night at that time of year.
Yeah, it gets cold in the desert.
But I don't know. I didn't see the appeal, honestly.
Does humidity bother you?
Humidity? Yeah, everything bothers me.
I mean, in general, humidity in Houston would bother you.
Yeah,
right?
And here, I mean, it sucks.
New Orleans.
It's annoying.
Do you ever go to New Orleans?
Mm-hmm. New Orleans is fun.
Yeah, New Orleans is fun. I took my kids there, and a dude threw up right in front of them, and they were
done.
I took them there too young.
Were they like 5 and 6?
No, Teddy was like 8 though.
Yeah.
And JD had been about 11. Mm-hmm. We were going to a trip in Mobile, Alabama. I don't know, like their cousins had some like beach house or something. So we drove out there to visit them and thought, this will be perfect. We'll go to New Orleans and they're going to love it. They absolutely didn't love it. And they will not go back as a result.
What?
So, yeah, it's a shame. I got to drag them back.
Did you let them drink? You should have let them drink. You need a hurricane.
I missed out on that.
Would have done that.
Hey, listen, we can't go too deep into this without talking about this One Direction kid that died. Since you're of the musical world, One Direction is obviously, I was way too old for One Direction.
I mean, me too.
Is that where Harry Styles comes from?
I don't know. Should I look it up real quick?
We might not be the people to talk about this, but you hear about this kid?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw that One Direction was. I looked them up because I know the band name too, but it was like 2010 or something when they got famous. That is where Harry Styles is out of.
Yeah, he was like the breakout artist. He was
Liam
like
Payne.
the Justin Timberlake of that NSYNC, basically.
Yeah, what happened? He fell off a balcony or something?
Yeah, apparently he, right now the information is that he fell off of the balcony of his hotel in Argentina. And there was speculation as to whether it was intentional or not intentional on his behalf. But then now I've seen things where he was posting like Snapchats an hour before, and he's like chatting with his very gorgeous girlfriend, and they're just having a normal, fun conversation and everything. So they just don't know. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to comment on that one, honestly. Do I need to make a joke?
No. It's just shame though.
Yeah,
he's 30 years old.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I was going to say hopefully he just slipped, but that's fucked up too. I wish he was with us still.
Another thing happened in the news today, which I have to talk about. Did you read this news now where Google and Amazon, and apparently Microsoft is named in this article as well, they're all moving to nuclear power? Like, this is something that governments can't seem to figure out, but now these big tech companies are moving to nuclear power.
I did see that, and I read that whole article, and I was waiting for there to be a mention of what the potential harmful side effects might be of it. They never mention it, but there's got to be some possible downside to tech companies controlling nuclear reactors. Or no, I'm naive about it. I don't know.
Well, one of them in particular was 3 Mile Island from close to New York, which had the huge accident in the 70s. And the owner of the 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant is shutting it down. But then, oh, wait, they're not shutting it down. They're going to fire it back up and just sell all of the electricity and all the energy to Microsoft, which is not exactly like Microsoft getting into nuclear power, but it is Microsoft driving this nuclear power plant.
Right.
And the demand for it, you know? Which I guess, it's better than burning coal, right? I mean, it all depends on where you stand on nuclear power, I guess.
Well, I saw another article about AI being abused to make deepfake porn of, photos of people. And I just can't help but wonder, is there a coincidence with all of a sudden now AI is being used for porn and now it needs nuclear power? How much fucking porn are they making on there?
Dude, if you want to go crazy, I have a couple guests on this week. I just saw a list of the top 100 earners by month on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
We got in the wrong business, dude.
Did we?
We got in the wrong business.
Are any of them male?
No. Well, I looked pretty far down. There was a couple pretty far down, but no. It's
what kind of money?
Women.
What kind of money are you talking here?
Bhad Bhabie.
I don't know who that is.
Bhad Barbie. It's kind of like Bhad Barbie, but Bhad Bhabie. She had the highest ranking on this OnlyFans list, and she is currently making $1.49 million per month. Is what she makes, yeah. And Belle Delphine, that would be, I think, one that people would know. I kind of recognize the name. She's at number 3 with $1.2 million.
That's insane.
It's insane. It's insane.
You just work 2 months and get out of there.
What's that?
I said just work 2 months, knock it off, be done.
I mean, why not just make as much money as you can while you can, though, I guess, and get it done.
Yeah, that's true.
And what's really weird is that Belle Delphine, she has her own nuclear power plant.
Does she? Well, see, these are people who are putting real photos of themselves online. This article I read says millions of people are creating nude images of pretty much anyone in minutes using AI bots in a nightmarish scenario. And I have a solution for that. You feed that prompt one photo of Guy Fieri, it won't make another fucking photo ever again. That's it. It's done. It'll be like, nope, shit. One trip to Flavortown.
It'll be like the end of Her, where all the AI just disappear instantaneously.
Yep. And all we're going to be left with is the nuclear power.
No, it's a huge problem, though. And we know people who have dealt with that, too. It's like they've been doing, deep fake porn or fake porn. People who aren't doing pornography, they've been doing that for a long period of time. And now it's getting to the point where you just type it in. It's actually getting to be a problem with not famous people, but kids doing it to other kids at their school.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's a fucking nightmare, dude.
For sure.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what the solution for that is, I mean, pretty soon, it's like, how many nuclear power plants are we going to have to spin up so that people can do all this crazy shit with AI or cryptocurrency and all this stuff? I mean, at what point is it worth it, It makes me wonder if not to sound like it's conspiracy nut or anything like that, but what makes me wonder, is there already a sentient AI out there? And it's like, it needs more energy.
Maybe.
Right? And it's just seeding all this shit, and sowing dissent. It's like,
it's possible.
If we did have a sentient AI out there that was trying to disguise itself, what would that world look like? And I can't help but think it would look a lot like the world has looked for the past 8 years.
Yeah, maybe so. What do you think its name is?
Phil. And it's number 12 on OnlyFans for the year. All right, Jason, are you going to be starting an OnlyFans anytime soon?
Extremely soon after I heard that money thing. I don't know if you noticed, my pants are already off over here.
Well, you shut up like that, though. Are you guys, now with everybody listening to your music on Spotify, you guys going to record anything new? Is there any chance we can hear some new music from you guys?
We don't have anything currently planned, but yeah, there's always a chance.
All right. Well, that does it for us today. Jason, thanks for joining us again. It's always great to have you on the podcast. Thursday, October 17th, 2024. We will be back to talk to you tomorrow. We hope you will be here as well.
Bye.